Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Black Diamond Call for Monday, February 5th, 2018. John Lavinia calling in live from Phoenix, Arizona. Nice and warm, yeah. For those of you who've been following my latest saga, I just moved my family down here from Salt Lake City, and wow, palm trees and cactus. Nice stuff. Anyway, wherever you are in the world tonight, welcome to you. We're glad you're here. We're going to have fun on our Black Diamond Call as we always do. A couple quick announcements. One is that this week we are having a special broadcast with Michael Force, our CEO and founder. It's going to be Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. So that's exactly 48 hours from now. Right now it's Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So 2 days from now, be on, not here, don't be here because it's going to be on a separate channel. Okay, so you do need to register for that. Check your email inbox for an invitation from Michael himself. So that is Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern U.S. time, special broadcast. Also, we are having our Marketing Mastery event in March, third or fourth weekend of March. For some reason, I haven't paid attention to the dates yet because I'm still focused on Apex. We got Apex coming up in just 2 weeks, right? So I'm heading up to Whistler, British Columbia. We're going to be having fun, doing a winter wonderland thing, which I have no problem with, especially now that I live in Phoenix. But anyway, I'm gonna try dog sledding. I've never done that before. I want to just say mush and like have these dogs pull me around with no particular destination. But the Apex event is about 2 weeks out. That's of course sold out, and we are having our Marketing Mastery event in March. So if you do not yet know about that because you're brand new or something, go ahead and enlighten yourself by going to digitalaltitude.co/MME, as in Marketing Mastery Events. digitalaltitude.co/MME. Get yourself early bird tickets. And I did get a question today from a member who is looking to go, but hey, can I bring my spouse? Yes, you can bring your spouse. There is couples discounts. So if you've got 2 or more tickets that you want, then you actually get a discount off the discounted early bird price. So this is like almost free at this point. I feel like I'm in an open air bazaar. Almost free. Come right here. Bring your money. Almost free, right? So no, this is a gift that Michael gives every couple times a year to everybody, and please accept that gift. Be there. There's no better way to launch your business, especially if you're a brand new member. So I'll be there. I'm at every event. Now, what are we doing tonight? Oh, yes, Black Diamond. That's right. So we are here, as we are each week, to talk about how we got to the top, and you're going to be hearing from myself and my guest speaker tonight, who I've never heard from, so I'm very excited. And so here are the rules for this call. If you're new here, we just say it the way it is. We don't sugarcoat. We don't polish anything. It's rather street. It's sometimes in your face. Take what you like and leave the rest. Please see how these ideas actually apply into your business. We're not just here to entertain you, as entertaining as I like to believe I am. We are here to help you get to the top and make haste in doing so, right? It's a lot more fun to make money fast than it is to make it slow. So take what you like and leave the rest. And if I say anything that offends you, you'll get over it. That's how we roll on the Black Diamond. So I am excited tonight because we are going to be talking about a topic which is near and dear to my heart because of the reality of it, because of the not only the gravitas, but the reality of it. And that is the fact, as I've observed empirically in my own life, the fact that I must induce some urgency for myself if I'm planning on getting anything done. Like, for example, this move that just happened. Okay, so we found the perfect house. Here's the deadline. Let's do it. Do you want the house? Get it. Okay, great. So we got it. So now for the past week, I've been taking care of business while coaching students and hosting these calls and everything else. For those of you who've been with us for longer than a week or two, you know how insane my life has been for the past week or so, and yet it all got done. You know, there's a saying. The saying is, I work well under pressure. Anybody ever heard that? If you have, you can type in the chat roll. I work well under pressure. Well, that might be true, but actually I think for us entrepreneurs, the greater truth might be I work when under pressure. Because if there's no pressure, I'm probably just not going to work. There's lots of other, things I could do, right? As easy as it is to do the right thing, it's even easier to not do it, right? So I work when under pressure, right? And I'm thinking about, I guess, a little story I could offer as a preamble to this whole topic and to our guest speaker, who's about to come out and share her experience with this whole do or die situation kind of stuff. And that's this guy who we've mentioned before on this call, this guy named Hernando Cortez. No, he's not in digital altitude. He was in a different opportunity. He was a conquistador. He would go and conquer foreign lands. That was, I suppose, considered ethical at the time. And so anyway, he was out there doing his thing, and he decided that we should go get some gold. And we hear that the Aztecs have some really good reserves of gold. So let's go over to the Americas and let's go like pillage their gold. And so he got to, I guess this was somewhere in the South American coast or Central America. You know what? I should know where this was. I think maybe what is now Colombia or Venezuela or something. I don't know. But anyway, so he lands with his armada, right? And he scuttled his own ships, which means he sank and burned them. He said, burn the boats. That's it. We're here to take the gold. And, you know, if we're going to go home, we're going to go home in their boats. Burn our boats. See that? So there's nothing milquetoast about that, right? That's not like, well, hey, you know what? I know we're here to take the gold. It might be a problem. You know, if we start to have a little resistance, maybe meet up over here, you know, by the beach, and we'll just like make our way out quietly. And he didn't say that. He didn't say that. He said, destroy our fleet. We are here to get the gold or die. They got the gold, by the way. So there's that. Reminds me of another guy who wasn't so nice, which was this guy named Napoleon Bonaparte. He's not in digital altitude either. But he said, I see only my objective. The obstacle must give way. Right? So these are guys that kind of did things of note, right? Ethical or not, still they had resolve. Can we have that same sort of resolve in our business? I hope so. Without pillaging people's gold or killing whatever. But yeah, for a bit more resourceful ends, which I think is good, right? Certainly something as significant as making money and supporting your family and providing a lifestyle sounds like a worthy reason to me for you to put yourself in a no escape hatch sort of situation. That's what I did, and that's what our guest speaker did tonight. So I'm excited to hear about this because I've never heard the details around it, but I can tell you this is a very real topic for me, okay, because there is no turning back. Like when I got started in this industry, my job was killing me. I ended up in the hospital, right? So like do or die? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, do or die. Mm-hmm. So there's that. And who are we got? Oh my goodness, I'm tripping on my own tongue here. Who do we have that's going to help us talk about this topic tonight? It is none other than the great Amanda Custer. Amanda, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Hello.
I'm so glad that you're here with us. We've never had you on a Black Diamond call before, and so
I'm so excited.
I'm all ears. So where are we going with this topic tonight? You're going to tell us some of the juicy details about your do or die approach to business?
I am.
Good.
Yes, I am. And my story actually starts a few years ago, prior to Digital Altitude, but sort of lit that I'm going to do it myself fire under my husband and myself's rear end. When some people may know this story, but let's see, when my husband and I got married years ago, we had a special needs daughter. She was our first daughter, and she was severely medically disabled, and physically, mentally, everything. And over the course of her young life, she spent a lot of time in the hospital, many doctor's appointments. We had to be, around our hospital, our local hospital. We couldn't go anywhere. We couldn't do anything. My husband, he worked really, really, really hard to support us, but I couldn't work because she couldn't be under the care of anyone other than myself. She couldn't leave our house. There was a lot of things going on with her that required our attention and our time. And one year when she was around 5 years old, this was not the first of her hospital stays, but definitely one of the most severe and the longest hospital stay. She ended up in the hospital about 2 hours away from us in a children's hospital. This was when we were living in Nebraska. And my husband was working for somebody who said to him, gave him an ultimatum, and he said, you either come back and, quit going to see your daughter in the hospital, or we're going to have to fire you. And my husband and I were not the kind of person, we could never just leave our daughter in the hospital. There was many days and moments, minute by minute was is she going to make it? We're not sure, especially during that hospital stay. She ended up very sick, and she was, really we were close to losing her, and he didn't want to spend any time away from her. And so we would sort of take turns back and forth, and I would go stay a night, and then he would come back and go to work, and it was kind of this like touch and go thing for about a month or so. And, about when his boss said, you have a choice. You can either come back to work, I can't afford to have you gone, which rightfully so. He has a business to run, and we can't blame him. He needs people there to run his business. And it was at that moment that my husband said, I'm not going to let somebody else dictate whether I get to see my daughter take her last breath or not. And so I quit, and he quit his job. And my husband has a motorcycle mechanic town, and he and at that moment, within 24 hours, we decided, you know what, we're just going to start our own business. And we have to. We have no choice, because our daughter needs us. We can't afford to be away from her. We can't afford to not make an income. So we have to figure it out. That was our very first sort of do or die situation that, although we were thrust into it and we truly didn't have a choice, we ended up having a very thriving, successful motorcycle mechanic shop because we didn't have a choice. We had to make it work. We had, at the time, 3 other children at home, along with our special needs daughter. And there's this feeling I feel when you think about a do or die situation where you can't just say, oh, well, maybe next month, or, oh, I'll try again next time. It's very much you have to do it or you won't survive. You have to do it or you won't get paid. You have to do it or you can't take care of your family, just like you were talking about, John. Obviously your family can be a really big reason why you do something, but when you put yourself in a situation, and I'm not saying like go out and quit your job or anything like that, but I am saying that you have to give yourself almost like an ultimatum. If I don't do this, then I can't have this. And it has to be a big enough reason to force you to go beyond your limits and force you to make huge changes and do big things. Otherwise, you kind of just let yourself skate by if it's not a situation where it has to happen, or if it doesn't, there's bad things that could happen. And so that kind of like set the tone in our entrepreneurship journey. We both owned multiple businesses after that, and ultimately led to us going, okay, well, we're going to travel. We're just going to travel full time. We're going to, we actually ended up losing my daughter 2 years ago, unfortunately. And after we lost her, we decided that we were just going to go travel. That was another moment where we were like, let's do something big. Let's thrust ourselves into a situation where, we have to like sink or swim, and we didn't know what we were going to do remotely. We owned sticks and bricks businesses, but we hadn't owned any businesses that could run remotely. But we had this goal, and we had this drive to just live out a legacy for our daughter. And for me, knowing that my daughter didn't get to have these moments that I envisioned for her, I almost had this like do or die. We have to live out her legacy. We have to do this for her. And I don't care how we're going to do it. I don't care if we don't have any way to make a remote income. We're going to figure it out. And I feel like when you open yourself up to, the universe, and you open yourself up to receiving just information, things come to you. And that's how I ended up coming across Digital Altitude. I swear Sarah Gallo just like popped up in my news feed because I was Googling affiliate marketing. And I was like, if Facebook knows everything. So it was like the Facebook gods just like channeled Sarah Gallo, and up she pops in my news feed. And but for us, once we started traveling and trying to figure out how we were going to earn this remote income, we sold everything. We sold our home and our belongings and everything and moved into this little camper, and people thought we were freaking crazy. And I was like, yeah, maybe, but this is lighting a fire under me, and I think it's amazing, and we're going to make it happen. And we didn't have a choice. We had to make it happen. We had to support ourselves remotely. And so when Digital Altitude came along, that was my, our other moment of, okay, we're going to make this investment, and then I'm going to make this investment, and I'm going to make it happen because I like traveling, and I want to keep this lifestyle that we are, able to have, and I want to keep, seeing new places, and I want my kids to experience this, and those moments of things that I wanted for my family became things that I had to have. It was it wasn't a question. It was not a negotiation. It was like, okay, this is what I want for my family, so this is what I'm going to do to get there. And I feel like with Digital Altitude, if you just don't let your success be a negotiation. Your success should always be a have to, not just a want. It should be something that you don't have a choice. You just make it happen. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. The thing is, what I have found, having coached thousands of people over the years, is that it's not so much about the resources that they have or don't have when they get started.
Mm-hmm.
Just like it wasn't
That's
for
right.
you and it wasn't for me, but the drive, the desire, the purpose. In fact, I can cite the guy named Albert E. Gray. He was a big shot in the Prudential Corporation back in the 1950s, and he said to his sales managers, he said, if you're in a slump, you don't need to force production. Just get refocused on purpose, and then production will take care of itself.
That's right.
So when we're talking about getting more done in less time, which I think everybody, any sane person would like to do, if we can create some urgency for ourselves and remove the possibility of excuses, right? Because now you're entrepreneurs, right? It's not like, you could do a crappy job just enough to not get fired and still collect a paycheck. No, you get paid for results, not for, just showing up and punching a clock. So now you got to come up with solutions, right? So you got problems, okay? Now, can you come up with solutions? Well, you better, right? And I think that's sort of self-reliance and self-determinism.
Right.
I think it's lacking for most people, but most people aren't here, right? I mean, that's the whole idea. Most people are watching Jerry Springer reruns or whatever's on TV right now. I don't know what most people do. I don't know what most people do. I know what we do. And so there's no mystery nor any apology regarding why we make exponentially more money than most people. We're not here to be most people. So do you have like some tips, or maybe you want to share some results with us, like what happened since these transitional occurrences in your life, with the daughter, and now, now she's gone, and now you're traveling, you're entrepreneurs. Is it motorcycle repair? Is it, online business? Like, what choices did you make? What worked out and what didn't?
Yeah, so we 100% are affiliates for DA now. That is our main income. And, I actually ended up, in order for us to have this remote lifestyle, I am a photographer, and I owned a photo editing business. And what I found was sitting behind my computer 8 hours a day editing wasn't living. Even though I was able to do that work, anywhere else, wherever I wanted to. For me, I wanted to be outside hiking and biking and being, out with my children, and each time we got to a new location, I wanted to explore it. I didn't want to have to sit behind my computer and figure out how to pay for it. And so, with my editing business, I could only make as much income as time I spent behind my computer. And so when I started researching affiliate marketing, I knew that that was going to be a way for me to make an income that was automated, an income that didn't have a cap of how much money I could make. I wasn't bound by the, 8 hours a day of daylight that I could work. And so when I found Digital Altitude, I just ran with it. We put everything into it. I dove in head first. I didn't look back. I told my husband, this is what we're doing, and I'm excited. And he was like, okay, let's do it. And it's been amazing. We started Digital Altitude in August, and we started in July, and we officially launched our business in August. And since then, we've had around $70,000 of income, which my husband and I have never made that much money just hanging out together. So it's been an absolute dream come true for us, and I've enjoyed every minute of it, and helping other people do the same thing, which is, I always thought, I want to be a coach, not a DA coach, but a coach. I want to coach people on how to live a lifestyle they always, that they always wanted. I want to show people that you can have whatever you want in life. You just have to be brave enough and bold enough to go for it. And the only missing puzzle piece throughout, me wanting to show other families they could do this too, was showing them how to earn an income while they were living the life of their dreams. And now I have that. Now I have that platform that I can say, look, you can do this too. You can travel. You can do these things. And so getting the opportunity to tell other people that they have a choice, that they don't have to work for somebody else, that they don't have to miss out on, their children's lives, that they don't have to, right now too, my husband and I, we actually just recently moved to Panama City Beach, Florida. We were actually traveling through Panama City Beach about a week ago for my daughter's birthday, just driving through it, and we're like, well, let's stay here and celebrate her birthday on the beach. And we fell in love, so we rented an apartment and decided to stay. So, when you know, you know. But what's wonderful about it is we can pick up and be anywhere that any of our family members need us. When my brother needs me, I can be in San Diego. When my mother-in-law needs me, we can be in Nebraska, no matter what. And we can still make an income doing it. And I think that's been the biggest blessing for us is, we have family all over the country, and getting to, be able to drop everything and be there for them, that's been a huge blessing for us, absolutely.
Well, that's great. So you're decision makers, and I think that's a significant thing right there. A lot of times people have indecision that holds them back. That's the main enemy of success. It's also an amazing consumer of time. But if you can just make a decision, like you said, all right, so here it is, Panama Beach, let's do that. And then you did that. Okay, great. So now we're here, and so you just did it. So stuff like that, and here's the thing. A lot of times people think, well, if I only had the money, then I could do the thing, right? So my decisions are based on what I have or don't have. Okay, well, that's an interesting way to live. And again, that's how most people live. But if we look at it, it's actually easier to make way more money if you have a reason for the money. And in other words, if you have it already spent mentally. I remember when we built a house. My wife and I, we had this house that we wanted to get, and the house was just in a framing stage, right? There was a foundation, there were some boards and stuff, and so we went up, we saw the location, all looks great, and we're thinking, man, this could be a great house. And so we called the construction company that was building this custom home, and they were like, yeah, we're about to pick out the the tile and the cabinetry and the doors, and like, if you want to pick all that stuff out, just let's go into contract this month, right? So we'll take $50,000 in earnest money this month if you want to pick out everything yourself, which of course we did. So so now we got a reason to make 50 grand this month, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so and we wound up making 80. But the point is, without a reason for the money, yeah, we're just moseying along, whatever,
Right.
Yeah. So
and people
that's
get really, yeah, I mean, I think just people get comfortable in their mediocrity. And for me, my mom has called me. She thinks I'm crazy half the time because I feel like I've lived so many different lifestyles, but I feel like I'm not done yet. I have so many things that I want to try, that I want to do, and businesses that I want to take a look at. And no matter that I didn't have a college degree or anything, I don't care. I can do it. I'll figure it out. So yeah, I mean, I think just like you said, being able to make a decision and just say, hey, let's try it. Let's see what that's like.
right. Good stuff. So tips, anything? We're only 26 past the hour, right? We have an hour session here tonight. We can open it up for
I
Q&A,
know, I'm a
or
quick
if you want to, yeah, you can keep on talking.
No, I think I don't know. Sometimes when I get going, I just kind of talk too quickly, and then, not much left to say. But
Well, what about the new person?
I mean,
Here's the thing, Amanda. So let's say I'm like 1 hour in the business. This is my first ever, live broadcast or podcast episode that I'm listening to, and I just want to know, how to get from A to B. Like, how do I? And we hear about this all the time from people who know. They say, well, talk with your coaches, right? You got to get through 18 steps. You got to do a business plan. You got to you got to have a strategy. You don't want to just go willy-nilly into the marketplace because it'll eat you alive, okay? But let's say, any besides get with your coach, which is the most common advice that we get, anything else you want to say to like the brand new person?
I think just trust the process. When I started, I was so eager, like, well, give me to the end so I can know it all, and I'm still that way. I'm very much like, I need to hurry up and get all the information, and I want to know it all, and I need to, and, help me, figure out all the answers to all these questions that I have, and trusting the process, I think, is one of the biggest thing so you don't overwhelm yourself with everything that you feel like you need to know right now, because it's going to come. There's so much of, entrepreneurship in general that none of us know. We don't know everything when we start something, but you'll learn it, and the answers will come, and so will the success. But you just have to trust that it's going to come when you're ready to receive it. And just try not to rush the process too much. I know when I started, I was calling my coach, like, please just, open up more steps for me, or do this, or, do that, and I was, asking Sarah all these questions, and she kept saying, you're jumping way ahead of yourself. And I think that was definitely one of my biggest lessons, was just to be patient, trust the process. This isn't going to be an overnight success. If you're somebody who's sitting on the other end of this line and you're listening going, well, I haven't had results yet, or it's taking a long time, or I'm still building, or I'm still, whatever it is, don't ever compare your success or your time frame or your, journey to anybody else. I think when your success will come to you when you're ready to receive it, and so will all of the questions that you have. They'll be answered. So yeah, trust the process. Take a deep breath. Take it all in, and reach out to your mentor. If you don't have one, find one. Find a friend in the business. Find somebody that you can bounce ideas off of. I have, obviously, in the beginning, Sarah was one of my biggest mentors and one of my biggest friends, and she helped me every single step. And So I've turned around and done the same thing to the people that I mentor and my team, and they've found friendships in each other. And, in the beginning, I found a friendship in Tara Hall, and we worked together. And so definitely just finding a buddy to kind of go through this with and ask questions to is another big helpful thing.
That's great. I'm going to make a personal statement here, and that is that I've had the chance to coach several of your new members,
Mm-hmm.
some of which have also risen to some very interesting results rather quickly. Most notably,
Yep.
Jen Weeman, who we had on here a couple weeks ago. So this is Jen Weeman's sponsor, everybody, right? So there's that. Right. And so there's a couple of messages we can get out from this, and one is that like attracts like. The second message is that as you are fully committed, it seems, to your business, so are the people that you bring. I know I got to work with a girl named Holly, very nice lady, and let's see here, lots of who else comes to mind here? Kitty recently, and Amanda, and another girl, Sarah. So you attract some nice people, right? And that's obviously because you're like a nice person. Is there any method which may or may not apply to me or to anybody else, right? Maybe you like to do like Jen does your Facebook stuff, right? I don't like Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Do something else. What do you do?
Yeah, I do a lot of social media, but I very much I'm myself. I'm very although I don't know. I just think I conduct myself in a way in social media that lets people know that they can talk to me, that they can reach out to me, that they feel like they know me. But I'm also on social media not afraid to put myself out there. And that's kind of another, I once had somebody ask me, well, because I like to do videos on Facebook. I talk about what I'm doing online. I talk about what it's done for my family, and I will record myself so people can see my face and so they can hear my passion and my heart on what it's done for me. And I've had somebody say, well, do I have to do videos like that? And I always say, well, no, you don't have to do anything, but do you want success? Because if you want to be successful, you'll do what it takes. And that's another sort of do or die thing. For me, getting in front of a video, that's not the most comfortable thing in the world. Talking on the phone even right now, my heart was beating out of my chest when I got on the phone. And so you do things that are just that put you out of your comfort zone because you have to, and that's just what it takes. So that kind of comes back to that do or die thing. And so for me, I put myself out there on social media. I talk to people on the phone. I message with people constantly on social media, not just about working online, but just life in general, whether they know me or not. A lot of people feel very comfortable with just reaching out to me just to chit-chat. So it's a lot of friendship building and relationship building and just being myself as much as possible.
Right. Good stuff. Well, these are all great tips. So thank you so much, Amanda. I think we're going to open it up for Q&A and audience participation for those who join us live on these broadcasts. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to set that up right now. Here we go. All right, cool. So we do have an open line now. If anyone would like to come out and talk with Amanda, now is a great opportunity to do that before we get together live in San Diego. And so looks like we do have our first contestant. Here we go. Hold on. Here we go. All right. So, David, you're live on the air. Where are you from?
I'm from Wenatchee, Washington.
All right. Very good. Go forward, David.
So I am just in the starting phases of this. I'm a rise climber, and I hear all these great stories of starting up. And the biggest question I have is, what's some of your best tips for starting up? Because once you have that kind of connection with people and that you can start living the life that you want to, a lot of people gravitate towards you. But to start off, when you're just sitting at home working 70 hours a week, how do you any tips to how to get started in the most effective way possible?
Yeah, absolutely. I get this question a lot with our team. They'll say things, I don't have my own results to share, or I don't travel, or I don't already have the lifestyle I want. And I say, take your audience on that journey with you. If you get on a live video and you talk about what your dreams are and what your ultimate goals are, your long-term goals, and why you've decided to take this plunge of working online and what it's going to do for you, people will resonate with that a lot more than you already being somewhere. I started with $0 online. I started with zero experience. I had no clue what I was doing as far as affiliate marketing is concerned. I sucked at network marketing and MLMs and all of those things. And so I'm definitely not a social media guru. 6 months ago, I tried to stay off of it as much as possible. And so that's what I mean by being real, is I've taken people on this journey with me, so they've got to see my success grow. And the more they watch my income grow, the more they watch my sort of social media platform grow, the more they want to be a part of it. So I would say just take people with you on the journey and let them know what you're doing, and just talk to them. And I'll go back to a video. Just put it out there and just talk about your dreams and your goals. People love to hear what other people have going on, and you'll probably resonate with some people who have the exact same dreams and goals that you have. So why not share it with them?
Thank you.
Yep.
Good
Hope that helps.
And Amanda, you know what else I did notice? Great question, David. By the way, the lines are open. If you'd like to raise your hand, click the button on your app, or click *6 on your phone, or Skype if you're dialed in with a phone. And what I noticed, Amanda, is that this whole like attracts like thing, and that you've got the personality, I think, that is conducive to attracting, and what I could see is other ladies. I don't know that I've coached any men that you've enrolled.
Yeah, mostly female. Yeah.
Okay. Whereas other people may attract almost all men, right? So that's just different styles and whatever. But certainly you're attracting some powerful ladies with however you're doing it. So that's awesome. It's working. And yeah, whatever the platform is. So in your case, you're talking about Facebook. So good stuff there. I'm not seeing any other hands raised right now. We still have David on the line, but anybody else want to raise your hand? I'll go to our next caller. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this call. So going once and going twice, and we are up. Here we go. Our next caller, Jagdish, you're live on the air.
Hey, John, can you hear me?
I can.
Hi, Amanda. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, good. First of all, I have to say thank you so much for sharing your story. These are the exact things that, everybody needs to hear. So my question is, so on social media, what has been your experience as far as the platform of choice that has attracted the right audience for you?
Say that one more time. Sorry.
So on the work that you do on social media, is there one platform that has worked better than the others as far as attracting the right audience?
Okay. Well, I worked very well off of Facebook since I began, but I'm just comfortable on Facebook. I think you just have to use a social media platform that you're most comfortable with, because you're going to know how to utilize that platform and that software the best. I'm very comfortable on Facebook. I like the functions that it allows. I like being able to post longer videos. I like utilizing Facebook groups for more, interaction. One-on-one interaction. So for me, Facebook has been the best platform.
Got it. And are you doing both paid as well as free posts on Facebook, or is it one or the other?
I work off of my personal news feed and just I actually send friend requests daily. I don't do any cold messaging or anything like that, but I'm constantly adding new friends to my Facebook page every single day, people of like-minded interests, and I find them in various groups of interests that things that I enjoy. And so I'm attracting those like-minded people because I'm requesting them to be a part of my social media experience and inviting them in. So I would say my personal Facebook page has been a really, really great resource for me, as well as my Facebook group.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Good stuff.
Yep.
Thank you, Jagdish. And that kind of answers a question that I'm seeing in the chat roll here from Chelsea. She asked, if you don't have a big social media following, how do you have such success? And there it is. You're growing that following, right? You're out there doing friend requests. Right. You're actually doing something with it, you know.
Right. Exactly.
So,
yep.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right. Thanks again, Jagdish. We're going to go to our next caller. We got a queue of callers here now. So here we go to Eric. Eric, you're live on the air.
Thank you. Good evening, Amanda. Thank you for your story.
Hi,
I appreciate it. It's very encouraging. I wanted to ask you, on top of the social media component that you started off with, I heard you very succinctly mention that you started with zero money and virtually. And when you started seeing the migration from Facebook, did you broaden your avenues to attract other leads from that point? I mean, was there a stepping up from Facebook, or did you kind of remain there?
Facebook and Instagram. So I use both sort of simultaneously. In fact, the content that I create, I kind of use across both social media platforms. And so I will, create content within Instagram, meaning a post or something for that day, and I will also go over and post that same exact content in Facebook. So I kind of utilize them both the same, but my videos and the very personal experience I create happens over in Facebook.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, and thank you, John, as well.
Thank you, Eric. Thanks for stepping forward and being a part of our show tonight. And we are going to go to our next caller, which is Lynn. Hey, Lynn, you're live on the air.
Hi. I really appreciated the good...
Hey, Lynn, speak up. We can hardly hear you, buddy.
Oh, actually. And let's see, is that already?
Oh, boy. We're having a hard time hearing Lynn. Are you hearing Lynn okay, Amanda?
He's a little muffled.
Okay, well, we'll be really quiet, and we'll see if we can hear Lynn. So go ahead and scream and yell, Lynn.
Okay, sorry about that. I see obviously here. I turned one up. The other one goes crazy.
It sounds like maybe you're really far away from the microphone or something.
Yeah, well, I'm almost eating it.
Okay.
Unless it's picking me up from the cam mic, which is over here. I'll see it. Sounds good, this one, any? No? No.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I was just really glad to hear the positive results there from Amanda, and I like the way she said, "We're just going to do it," and you did it. I mean, that's what it's all about. You got to decide where you're going, and if you don't know where you're going, you're probably going to get nowhere. And if you know where you're going, you're probably going to get there. And I'm getting into the video stuff here just this week, so I expect to see some things happening. I think I got all the knowledge I need now. I just got to go get it.
Awesome stuff. Well, yeah, that decisiveness is what we were talking about, what Amanda was talking about. And without that, boy, you get to spend a lot of time just kind of trying to figure out where you're going, not really getting there.
Yeah, if you all have not read the book, it's called The 5-Second Rule.
Yeah.
It should be on your list, because the 5-second rule teaches you about not letting your sort of subconscious talk you out of stuff. And it says if you count down from 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then make a decision right when you get to 1, you don't give your brain enough time to talk you in or out of something. And it's just a great way to get things done. So if you haven't read that book, you should go find it, listen to it, or read it.
All right, good stuff. Thanks again, Lynn. And Lynn, you can check your microphone settings in your free conference call app. So now we're actually getting an echo on your line. So something weird's going on with your microphone settings. But anyway, thanks for jumping out, buddy, and we will hopefully hear more from you next time. So we'll go to our next caller, which is in the 484 area code. I don't know your name. Who are we speaking with?
Hi, this is Marquita. I'm from Philadelphia.
Was that Nikita?
Marquita.
Marquita. Welcome, Marquita. You're live on the air.
I wanted to ask a question. I'm a new beginner, and I just wanted you to, did you have any tips to avoid any downfall and remain focused and not get distracted in this business?
What are you distracted with?
Like, I'm 26. It'd be a lot going on, and I'm trying to remain focused and not get distracted with anything in my environment.
So like getting through your trainings and things like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that comes down to why do you want this? You know, what are you doing this for? What are your goals with this? And if your goals aren't big enough to propel you forward, then you need to make bigger goals. And you need to write it down. And lately I've been telling people to write themselves a story of their perfect day. So if you would just like sit down and envision what your perfect day looks like, you know, maybe it's a Tuesday, maybe you're hanging out at the beach with your family or, you know, whatever it is, and dream really, really, really big. Hopefully that will be enough to propel you forward and make you go, I want that. That is what I want. And that should, you know, for me, I have so many goals and so many dreams of what I want my life to look like. I don't feel like I'm ever done dreaming or ever done working hard for it. So I don't allow myself to get distracted because I know what I want the end result to be. Those goals are big enough for me to let go of any other distractions like television or hanging out with friends or whatever it is that, you know, is distracting you. I know that I have a vision and a goal of what I want my life to be like, and nothing can rock that because it's so big that you feel that, you know, passion and fire within you to keep pushing forward.
Right. Thank you. I really appreciate it, and I needed it. Yep. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Very good. Thank you, Marquita. Glad you're here. And we're going to go to our final caller for tonight, and that is Kevin. Kevin, you're live on the air.
Hey, what's going on? Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Hey, what's going on, John? How you doing, Amanda? I'm a new sign-uppee myself, and my question was, I'm not too big on the social media, but I think I'll have to lean towards, I keep hearing about the traffic. We're going to have to be able to gain traffic. So my question is, me not being so big into the social media, I probably have to go down the route of paid traffic. So what's like an initial investment you think I would have to make for paid traffic to start seeing some sales?
I mean, I think that just goes down to your ultimate goals, your income goals, and if you have not been connected with a traffic coach, do that and definitely connect with your coaches as well. They will be the best person to point you in the right direction for that. And, you know, there's so many different techniques to this business. That's why it's so amazing. There's so many different ways to earn an income with it. So utilize all those different ways until you find the one that works best for you. And if traffic is the best way that works for you, then absolutely, by all means, go for it. But ask the experts, which I am definitely not. So I would for sure connect with your coach and connect with a traffic coach to put you in the right direction for that.
All right. Sounds good.
Hey, Kevin, are you through all 18 steps?
Not yet. I just got done with 14 a day.
Oh, okay. So you've got a
Congratulations.
little bit to go here. So I can tell you that traffic is a wild variable, and we do have a bit of a mantra here in DA, and that's get at least 500 clicks per week. Communicate with your leads and your customers, and teach your team to do the same. So those three, sort of a three-step thing here. However, all of that you will engage once you're through the 18 steps. So don't worry, more training is coming. In fact, you'll be swimming in marketing training once you're through the 18 steps. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So you will definitely not have any lack of. I mean, you'll know how to get so many damn leads. It'll be ridiculous. Okay. And then the question is, all right, conversions. What can I do to increase conversions? Right. So traffic and conversions are two chronic subjects that come up, and both of them are subjective, especially the traffic thing, because we're dealing with the marketplace, which has 7 billion variables in it. Literally 7 billion. They're called people, right? So think about that, man. There's no like one magic, formula for that.
Right.
And if you're going to go the paid traffic route, what's a good budget? Well, at first, and I'm not going to step on your coach's toes, okay? So your coach is going to, walk you through business plan and all this. But I will tell you as a rule of thumb, when we get into paid advertising, there's a few considerations, and one of them is that if you are new, that you're going to have to budget, okay, based on the desire to lose money slowly, because certainly as soon as you put in one ad and you haven't made money yet, well, you just lost money, right? So you got to lose money slowly. That's why we have a budget. Now, once you can scale, well, then there's no more budget, right? Then we just throw money at it. If you can put in $1 and get out $2, we don't need a budget anymore, right? We just need wheelbarrows full of money. So, so part of being able to scale is what you're going to be learning as you go through these higher level steps. Okay, and I'll just give you one example. Darren Salkeld, Darren and Rhonda, they're doing about $50,000 a week in ad spend. Okay, and then other people like Amanda might do none. So there's your range. So somewhere between $0 and $50,000 a week. So there's the range. Is that a good answer? I don't know.
Hey, some numerical values, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, it's an answer, but what does that mean to you? Right now, it doesn't mean anything. So get through the rest of your steps, and you'll see. More shall be revealed, my friend.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right, brother. Thanks for being here. And with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up Q&A. And Amanda, wow, what a great Black Diamond call. This was cool. Thank you.
That was fun. Thank you.
Yeah. So you done being nervous now? We're all set? We're good? We got through it? We survived.
Yeah, we're all.
Hey.
I did survive. Woohoo!
That's so great. You guys who are here with us live, give Amanda some love in the chat roll, and also on our Digital Altitude Facebook group where you can find Amanda, and I believe your husband's in that group as well. Yeah, your husband's
yes.
in that group?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, great.
Yep.
So the main Digital Altitude Facebook group, Jagdish is saying you are awesome. All right, very good. So guys, we're going to go ahead.
Much.
Oh, my pleasure. We are going to wrap up with that. And, of course, join us back here on our wake-up call tomorrow morning. And we're going to go ahead and get this podcast posted. Amanda, thanks again for all you do and for bringing such awesome ladies to the table. This has been
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah, whenever I see that Amanda's got somebody for me to coach, I'm like, yay!
Yay! I know, they're all so wonderful. I love them all.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. All right, guys. Make it a great night. We'll see you all tomorrow morning. Bye for now.